The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Once again, we are back on another Saturday. Man, shout out to Jose for that intro. Happy Saturday morning to all you guys in the chat. And welcome to Pub Sports Radio for another edition of the Tailgate, man. You guys could be anywhere in the world and you're choosing to rock with us right now. So thank you very much. Here with me as always, we got Guns, Moose, and Wine Time. Fellas, happy top of the morning to you. We got huge football games today, so there's no time to waste. I'm going to go ahead and throw a graphic up. I'm going to try and do like I did last week and stay in the early games, guys. It's not exact order, but I'm going to try and stay with the early games. And I don't think there's any bigger, better way to start it right here. Oh, let me get the graphics fixed. Sorry, fellas. Wine Time, if you want to start it, let me find how we're going to
do it. We were kind of just talking about this a couple of minutes ago backstage. It's a game I didn't move on, and it's one of the biggest games of the day. You guys know I came out on the air last week. I said that Arch Manning wasn't that good. That Texas might not win 8 games this season. They end up taking a loss in Gainesville. But, man, this seems like a perfect get-right spot for Texas. They're the unranked team, and the number 16 is you're facing, and you're the favorite now at a -1. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, which is why I stayed off this game from a market standpoint, from an X's and O's, and nothing aligned for me in this game. So it was a hard pass. We have so many other good games today. I'll be cheering you guys on the sideline on this one, but this is a straight pass for me, guys, and it's one of the biggest games of the day. Take it away, Guns. I know you got something to say.
All right, I'm not going to be a pussy. I'm not a pussy.
Hit Alabama. I don't know why.
If we got a big game, I'm gonna pull up your bootstraps, good boys, because we're playing with the Red River Shootout. I refuse to call it the Rivalry, by the way, because guns get shot in that in Texas and Oklahoma. But you have a team that is coming off a 44-0 win against Kent State, and I know like John Mateer is going to be playing in this game. I think, but it doesn't matter. I'm not worried about the quarterback. I'm thinking about the defense in this one because Oklahoma has an elite defense, right? They only allow 193 yards of total offense to their opponents this year, 2.4 yards per carry on the ground, 52% pass completion rate, 118 passing yards. Texas is going to face the best defense that they face all year, and they thought that the best defense they face in the swamp. Nah. They're going against a team with revenge here with Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost to Texas 34-3 last season as 17-point dogs. Now you're seeing them, like 1.5-point dog in this situation. Line correlation is in apparent 16-point line swing from game A to game B from a year ago. I think Oklahoma's going to come out here swinging, and it's going to be their defense is going to come out here and absolutely something. They have one of the highest QB sack rates in the country at 17.9%, by the way. And Texas, when you saw it with Arch Manning last week with Florida, he can't handle pressure. He can't look at his checkdowns. And I know a lot of these great QB coaches that I know weren't high on him coming out, but he had the Manning name. But you forgot it's not Peyton, it's not Eli's kid, it's Gummo Manning, the one that didn't play in the pros. So give me Oklahoma money line on that one.
Man, I real quick before I let Moose take this game, I meant to hit the Alabama game. I don't even know how I messed that up. So my bad.
I said this is a 12:30 game.
Yeah, this is 12:30.
Dude, I'll fire on every fucking game. Let's go.
Yeah, this is right up the road too for me. But man, I see my guy Ron in the chat. Star Child, good to see you in here. Star Child, Markel, my dude Ryan, good to see you. Everybody rolling in, man. Thank you guys for rocking with us this morning. We get going quick because there's multiple people with best bets and a lot of good games that we want to talk about. Mr. Tomatoes, everybody, thank you guys for rolling in and rocking with us, man. Go to Pub Sports Radio and retweet, share it. Moose, we're going to finish it because we're already here, and we might come back to this game, guys. But let us know what you're looking at, Moose. Here, you going with Texas or Oklahoma?
I mean, I'm more looking at the total, but if we're looking at the side first, Wine already pointed it out. I mean, we have the unranked team that has been playing poorly that is still the favorite in the matchup, and that's usually a pretty green flag if you're trying to find some Texas angles out there. But I mean, Guns already alluded to the fact that if you just compare these teams apples to apples, yeah, Texas does not look like the team you should be putting your money on. But this is kind of a weird spot that the line makers are putting out there. If you want to compare last year, yeah, the last year's Oklahoma team was horrific. It was awful. They were losing receivers left and right, and they also had multiple issues. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody's driving by that's just making a bunch of noise.
You're good. Can't hear it.
Hey,
so
never mind. I was going to say, anybody has seen the South Park episode. But anyways, yeah, that did make me laugh too. I was going to say, though, Moose, this is like Texas. Look at their odds to win the SEC. Look at their odds to make the college football playoffs. I mean, I need some of whatever these guys are smoking because, like, people still think this team is still somehow going to fucking bounce back, which they're not a good football team. What are we talking about? What are we watching with Texas for them to still be, like, above multiple good teams in the SEC to win the SEC or to go to the college football playoffs? But keep going.
All right, so the angle that I think is the most intriguing is if you look at the total here, the over, this has been an over series. This was like a shootout because they scored points. Like those two things did correlate, and now it's the rivalry, whatever.
Yeah.
And you look at the total of how it's set. It was set 65, 65, 63, and then last year, 48.5. And now you look at it this year, it was set at 41.5. It has climbed to 44.5 with over money coming in, but within the last 24 hours, and this is just me going off of live odds going from a different site here. That is a competitive site, so I'm not going to necessarily the name, but it is initials WT. And they right now are hanging a under is getting bet at 58%, and the under has 77% of the cash. The total did go down a scotch, but it hasn't moved a lot, which makes me a little worried about taking the under. But right now, the only thing I'm looking at is the under. I think Texas as a side is going to be very difficult for me to pull the trigger on, but the total is extremely intriguing, and I'd be getting the best version of the number. That's the only way I could look here. I will let you guys know if I end up pulling the trigger. I am still contemplating the whole thing in my brainium up here.
So nothing?
Nothing right now, but I am very close to pulling the trigger.
The under has some validity, though. I mean,
I like the under. I got yelled at by Dutch for saying under.
Oh, because he's right. I mean, I think what Moose was saying about like the history of this series, especially the last like 4 or 5 years,
always been over.
But you have to understand that Venables has probably the best defense he's had since he's been at Clemson when they were winning national championships. And Texas, if there's anything that you need to know about Texas, it is like their defense has been very good, but their offense has been very bad. So it does have some correlation there as far as like how the books adjusted to the total. So if somebody says like, no, I'm just on the under on this game, like I'm going to shake my head. I was like, you're probably on the right side, regardless of how this series comes out. Rivalry games are a little bit weird with totals. I will say that, especially like these feel like playoff games. So you never know how like these teams are going to come out smoking. Coaches kind of like change their schemes around when they play these type of games, especially like I think like you may see some pace from one of these teams. Sarkisian is an offensive guy. Who knows? But I think the books have adjusted to maybe a game plan in taking the under. So we'll see.
What's the line? BJ said it's still 3. And Star Child, I
had 1.5 on Bovada and Bet Online.
You have what?
Texas is a -1 pretty much.
1.5.
Yeah, I'll say they're 1 right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we can move on, guys. I got you right here, Cab. Let's go right to an SEC matchup right here. This is going to be first kick in less than 2 hours right here. Daby Cab, my guy, start this one off. Take it away.
I mean, I don't know if you guys want me to start this one off because you guys are all about to fucking.
I do start it off because I'm gonna cut a promo on this guy.
Yeah, I know you and fucking Wine Time and everybody. Why don't you guys go first? Y'all are gonna glizzy gobble on fucking Missouri.
Let's get right to it.
You two go ahead and suck Missouri off real quick for no reason.
Do you know what? I might go with the fucking total. You don't know where I'm going with this one.
You know what's funny? Cab said this was 50,000 strong. It's actually 62,000 strong here.
61,000 if we're being Exactly.
We're rounding up though, Cab. Come on.
No, it doesn't say 2. It's 61.
61,621 at
61,000.
Columbia, Missouri, Memorial Stadium right here. Drinkwitz, this is one of the best rosters he's had on paper right here. Went out and grabbed the 6-year quarterback and Pribula from Penn State. A lot of people question what he could do throwing the ball, but he's actually been throwing the ball pretty well, give or take the competition, guys. They haven't really faced anyone too difficult, but what's really impressed me is their run game, guys. Guys like Ahmad Hardy, guys like Jamal Roberts. Ahmad Hardy is first in the nation in yards after contact. Not only that, Mizzou is 60% on third down, which is number 1 in the nation. These guys don't ever get behind the chains. They only go above the chains, and they just rip off 4 or 5 yards every single play. It seems like this guy, Ahmad Hardy, man, the transfer coming in from ULM, this guy's been very impressive at 5'10", 210. This kid's a true sophomore, 19 years old out there. This was a big pickup in the transfer portal for them. Had a huge year as a true freshman, rushing for nearly 1,400 yards last year. Really impressive. A&M on the other side, guys. This is a really good football team. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I told Cap, Alabama has the better roster here. They are the better football team, but this game is playing in Missouri. Missouri has so much high hopes right now. This place is going to be rocking and rolling out there. And I just think that Missouri is going to continuously run the ball, and it's going to be hard to stop them. In years past, we never see spreads that are like this, that are this close between these two teams right here in particular. And we're seeing Missouri. I am seeing some 3.5s pop up. Don't like to see that, but I got in at the +3 on Tuesday. I got in on the money line +140. I think Missouri wins this game and has a way to the SEC title game at some point this season. So give me Missouri.
Go ahead, Guns. You can have some fluffy
Crickets.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, well, you know what I was going to say.
I mean, we're talking about an Alabama team that, and people are undervaluing the meaningfulness of beating Vanderbilt last week. Keep in mind, that was a very strong game for them. And they even did a dirty to us. They didn't not only win that game, they decided to cover the spread late in the game just to really stick it to us. And Kalen DeBoer, I'm not really high on him, even though he's 4-1 on the year. This is off that revenge win. He's going against a Missouri team that's 5-0, and people go, you haven't played anybody. Well, they played Kansas and they stomped them. And they, as far as maybe not from a scoring perspective, but they did for the yardage perspective. You have to pay attention to the yardage perspective of how teams dominate versus the score, because in a lot of these cases, you can find angles based on how teams operate. And what Bama is weak at, and I think a lot of teams are trying to expose them at, which Vandy didn't last week, remarkably enough, is they can't stop the run. Their rush defense is 230 rushing yards per game. They give up 4.7 yards per carry to FSU, 227 and 6.9 yards per carry to UGA. And even last week, the minimal amount of runs that Vandy did in that game, because I think they were kind of playing a weird passing. I don't know. Clark Lee really had a bad game plan. Just run the goddamn rock. 7.1 yards per carry on the run last week, and he ignored it. Missouri is going to run the ball. They have a 1-2 punch and 2 great running backs. Ahmad Hardy, who averages 7.1 yards per carry. Jamal Roberts, who averages 7.3 yards per carry. 292 rushing yards per game average, 5.9 yards per carry. And Pribula in the backfield for the QB that is a transfer from Penn State. If he wants to, he can run the ball too. He doesn't want to run the ball, but he can goddamn run the ball. He's a big motherfucker. And then, of course, you look at the pass defense here. That's going to be key here because all Bama wants to do is pass the ball. They did it last week, 325 passing yards per game, 70.5% pass completion rate. Missouri pass defense only gives up 141 passing yards per game, 48.5% pass completion rate. And everybody says Missouri hasn't played anybody. Great. This is going to be a great barometer for them. But what they've done so far with the competition they've faced, they've held them to under 50% pass completion rate, which is a key indicator. Even if it's 54% with Bama, they're going to be handling them. And also, we have the revenge angle. I mean, Missouri got their ass kicked last year, 34-0. 16-point road dogs in that situation. Now you have them a short dog at home. And by the way, Drinkowitz, as a home dog, 8-3 ATS last 11. Also 4-1 ATS last 3 years as a conference home dog. Missouri all day long. Give it to me all day long. Missouri plus 3.5 as a play.
You don't know what I'm gonna bet. Okay, Moose, go.
I'm trying to keep people watching the goddamn show.
Yeah,
that's
I
all
know exactly what's gonna happen, and just wait because I'm gonna let you guys know what's really gonna happen in this game in just a minute. You too, Dutch. He's been all week talking about Missouri too. And then he's like, oh, you took Bama like I faded him. I didn't fade you. I just bet Bama because they're going to fuck Missouri up. Go ahead, Moose.
All right, so Guns already kind of talked about it. Let me put the actual data on this.
Oh, God. Go again.
Alabama has faced the 4th toughest schedule. Missouri has faced the 107th. Guns already and Wine Time already referred to this. The best competition they faced was Kansas and South Carolina. Well, what happened in the first half? They were tied or losing. And Drinkwitz has actually talked about one of the things that they do as a coaching staff is that they like to see what the other teams are doing. And that was one of the things that this week in his press conference was he was talking about. He was glazing the Alabama coaching staff. I mean, he was just left and right. I mean, he was just gobbling it. He was just gobbling it up. But one of the things that he was talking about is something we've already seen play out in the season is that Missouri wants to see what Alabama is going to do in order to be able to make their adjustments and then implement the game plan that they are wanting to use against Alabama's potential adjustments. So it's like they're playing this master game of chess of trying to have a pre-game plan for expected adjustments that they are expecting Alabama to make, which gives you some hope and some confidence that Alabama is probably going to have the edge early. And it wasn't really reflected in how the line was set. You saw a 3-4s coming in through Alabama, but the first half was actually weighted, weighted towards Missouri. So that's not exactly the best sign. But my hope here is Missouri's coverage has not been great. And Jalen Daniels for the first half, you referenced the 50%, but the first half numbers on Jalen Daniels, especially the first quarter, were phenomenal. Against South Carolina, it was the same thing. I mean, it was very similar in the first half. They were kind of struggling. They were giving up completions, but then during the second half, they were locking them down and shutting them down. This is going to be the true test for Missouri. This is going to be able to give us a very, very solid evaluation on where Missouri is as a football team and how they stand up in the SEC and nationally. I think Alabama has the edge early, and Jam Miller coming back was huge. I mean, if we didn't see the difference in what Alabama can do offensively with that big guy behind the line of scrimmage, that is a very good team that can do a lot of different things. So I like Alabama early. I got Alabama first half as one of my plays today.
I don't know how you do that, Moose. You've done that in the past too, where you sound like you're going to be on Missouri, and then right at the end you're like Alabama. I'm not sure how I like that because I am on Alabama with you, but it's a little different. Let me not say that they haven't played anybody, Guns. Let me not say that for you. Let me say who they have played. Okay,
So
let
Kansas.
me not say that they beat an average Big 12 team in Kansas. Still gave up 31 points, but beat an average Big 12 team, and they beat a bad SEC team in South Carolina. So you're right. They played a bad South Carolina team when South Carolina was reeling, and they've beaten a average Big 12 team. So I won't say they haven't played anybody, but Alabama, like Dutch in the chat put, has already taken a lump on the road early this year. They went out there and got their ass kicked. And I understand Missouri's been great running the football, and Alabama hasn't been able to, quote unquote, stop the run. But let me say something. Georgia is not Missouri, okay, when we're talking about running the football. Even Vanderbilt, if I take it a step further, is not Missouri when we're talking about running the football and we're talking about play design, okay? So this is a spot where I think Alabama not only controls the line of scrimmage, I think Jam Miller is going to run the ball between 15 to 20 times. His prop is set at 14.5 on total carries. So I took Jam Miller over 69.5 yards, and I got Alabama first half. I'm with you, Moose. I also took them full game if I'm being fully transparent, though. So
Are we
right now?
We're split, right? So if you're watching this right now, there's like a line between the middle. So I think there's like Wine Time and us, Wine Time and me on Missouri. Am I wrong on that one? And then the other side is Bama.
I mean, did you not hear my breakdown, Guns? I'm on the money line and the +3.
You want to play a pattern?
I don't know. Like I was
makes faces like a little kid when people are capping. He doesn't.
I heard you. Obviously, I heard you, but like I'm being like, guys are joining the chat for the first time, so I wanted to like just be transparent. It's like if you draw, well, now when you're not drawing a line, you're being an asshole. But this, like, I can't wait, dude. This group chat is going to be live at 3:30, man. It's
All
going
I'm
to be
saying
live.
is-
Everyone except Moose will be non-existent in that group chat until tomorrow.
Yeah, Mooch will disappear, and it'll just be like
Right.
it'll be one
We're not
time.
gonna
We'll chime into something.
We're not going to move just yet, okay? Because like everybody stand on biz. And first off, before I say this, shout out to you, stand on biz, and anybody, man. If people are on opposite sides, unless your name is Gun,
Yeah, we're having fun. This is
unless
fun.
your name's is Gun or Wine Time, it's no big deal. Other than
Yeah,
that,
we're busting balls.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all fun. All I'm gonna say though is they haven't fucking played anybody. Guns tried to belittle the comment.
No, I wasn't. No,
Good.
I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit.
We've seen this bullshit story year in and year out with Missouri. They get ranked when they're not playing fucking
All right.
SEC schools, right? When they're outside of the SEC, they look like a good football
Okay.
team.
Is Nick Saban the coach still at Bama? Is he still the coach? I got to check.
DeBoer?
Is he?
What?
No, is Nick Saban still the coach at Bama?
I know what you're trying to do.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna use that line now. Listen,
Yeah.
Missouri plays in a high school football stadium.
By the way,
There are high school football
if
stadiums.
you guys want to know where Drankowitz came from, he was the offensive coordinator for arguably the best fucking offense that you will ever see in the entire history of college football, and that's the LSU Tigers in 2019. They won the national championship with Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson. I mean, one of the best offenses that you've ever fucking seen. And guess what he's doing over there? He lost Brady Cook. He lost Luther Burden III. He lost his running back. And what does he do? He rebuilds. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy is a dog. And this guy never loses at home. I'm just giving that for the argument. Watch what happens today at 3:30.
I mean, he's lost every time at home against Alabama.
There are get him, Moose, and there are also
Once?
there
Twice?
are high school. There
3
are
times
there are
already.
No,
high
he's
school
never been in
stadiums
Columbia.
to seat more people than
All
Missouri.
right, you guys, let's move
love
on
it.
to our next game here. This is a game that means a little bit dear to my heart right here after the big upset win last week at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. Biggest upset in 40 years. UCLA took care of business there, guys, and I'm going right back to the window on them. The only thing about this spot is a letdown spot. I've heard it, all the national media towards UCLA, but you look at how they're running their offense right now. I mean, it's exactly what Chip Kelly was doing a couple years ago. We know what Chip Kelly can do, and that's running an offense. Being the head coach, I don't know. In the NFL, I don't know. But he's always been able to score points. And what does he do? Run the ball. He ran the ball nearly 65% of the possessions there and kept the ball in Nico's hands. This is a worse defense in Michigan State. They are capitalizing on some explosive plays. But if you actually watch that USC game, USC dominated these guys, and they capitalized on a couple blown coverages in those games. The corners were in the wrong spots. There was no safety behind them, and they were able to go off for like a 65-yard touchdown on multiple occasions here. Aiden Childs and Nico, I mean, who's the better quarterback here? I'm going to tell you it's Nico. I mean, he's the more talented. Aiden Childs has an absolute gun, but he's also very inaccurate. And I question the talent, honestly, on this Michigan State team. Going into the season, I kind of thought they were a bottom feeder. I thought UCLA was a bottom feeder too, but from a talent perspective, I mean, UCLA is the more talented team. I think they're going to continuously run the ball and keep this offense off the field. And if they can limit explosive plays, I think they can stay within a touchdown of this game easily. I'm not saying coming out here and winning this ball game, but you're giving me 8.5 points on Tuesday. It's down to a 7.5 at some spots right now. I still endorse that. I got the 8.5. But I still like the 7.5 here. I think this team's going to be motivated. It is a tough spot, 9 a.m. road game for a West Coast team going out to the East Coast, traveling. It's a tough spot, but I'm on UCLA here.
Man, I get a shit sometimes when I bet, A&M, and I'm sure you do with UCLA, but I pay attention, dude, and you get your bets right with UCLA. Not always. Nobody gets everything right, but you win a hell of a lot more than you lose with UCLA. And I'm going to be honest. For me, no cap in a UCLA football game would start without hearing what you had to say about it. I really wouldn't care any other way around it. I think Nico looked good last week. Obviously, that's a stupid statement because anybody who watched the game knows that. But we know what Nico's capable of. For all the hate that he got, for signing the deal and getting the paper, like I thought the kid still throws a beautiful football, and his talent is there. There's no question about that. So. I would take the points with UCLA or not bet it probably.
Yeah. Can I go?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We're
All right,
not going to be on opposite sides here, Guns. We can be friends.
Listen, the only reason we're talking about this game is because fucking Wine Time is a UCLA fan. It's the only reason why this game is even a Chiron on the board, and Moose just pointed at himself. So here's what I'll say about this game. And it was definitely a game that I looked at because I always loved teams that were double-digit dogs at home. Like everybody like bet against them, taking Penn State, and then all of a sudden you get a win with that wispy hair motherfucker, Neuheisel, the son of, and like they just kind of like over promoted that game a little bit. But I understand why they did it, is they just wanted to shit on Penn State. But Michigan State, Jonathan Smith at home as a favorite has not been successful. I mean, he definitely has a bad record in that situation. So if there's a team that you want to play off a big win, it's definitely Michigan State. I mean, but you have this thing, and it's a theory that I'm starting to track right now, is these West Coast teams going to the East Coast teams going to the West Coast, because what I'm watching this year is the team that's traveling is falling flat every single time. So I'm a little bit hesitant to take UCLA. I'm hesitant to take Michigan State because they suck as a favorite. Why are they a 7.5 point favorite? Is probably because the books are kind of like adjusting on the letdown. Maybe, I don't know, but like I just passed on this game completely on the sheer fact that like you have a home team that sucks as a favorite, and you have a team that's off a big win. So I passed.
Let them know, Moose.
All right, so let's look at that ATS home favorite record that Guns was referring to. He has had 6 games as a home favorite, and he has won and covered none of them. He has not ever covered as a home favorite. But the concerning thing that I have here is if you look at line history just in this year for Michigan State, when they had a home game against BC, they were 3.5 point favorites. And now UCLA comes in, who just beat Penn State, and they are 7.5 point favorites. That, or even before that, it was a 9 at one point. It was 8.5, 9 at one point. And that was concerning to me. But if you look at UCLA, we are somebody in the chat already mentioned about UCLA and Wine. You already talked about having to go into the Midwest. They did this 3 times last year, and they were 3-0 ATS. In fact, in the Field Steel book, the note that is listed for this game here is that in different time zones, Nebraska, Rutgers, Penn State last year, they were 3-0 ATS. UCLA 15-9 ATS on the road since 2020. UCLA has had some success on the road. Maybe it's because they have that fancy chartered plane that Taylor Swift uses and lends out at the Beverly Hills Airport. I don't know, but they seem to travel pretty well. Michigan State doesn't play well at home. The concern here is going to be the pass rush from Michigan State, which was expected to be pretty damn good coming into the year, but really hasn't played up to expectations against an offensive line for UCLA. And Wine Time, this is the part of the offense that I have critiqued and I have shit on more than any other part of the offense. But they didn't look terrible against a very good Penn State team, and Michigan State not playing up to their expectations. I'm pretty confident with UCLA right now. The other factor is going to be the pass coverage for UCLA against Michigan State, which is mainly their offense. And Chile can really sling the ball. He's got some legit receivers out there. Can UCLA cover that? And I'm not 100% confident in that. But I haven't seen Chile do too much down the stretch in the second half of games. So I'm going to stay with the full game. I'm going to take 8.5 on UCLA. I also think Michigan State has one of the worst defenses in the conference. So give me UCLA that's running a new offense that doesn't have a ton of tape on it with their team total over. So I'm on UCLA team total over. That is at 23.5. And I'm on the 8.5 for full game.
Is that his name so casually?
Is that a San Diego State Aztecs hat that you have on right now? Oh my God, I need that hat.
And it's even better because it's got the 19.
Oh, dude. All right.
So, all right, guys, we can move on to our next one right here. Let's pull up. Let's go. You guys have something in the Ohio State, Illinois? I got nothing, but if you guys,
I do have something.
Hey, we can skip it if you want to skip it. Just keep the show running.
Under Ohio State, Illinois under. Ohio State plays extremely under in the conference, and Illinois.
Wait, Daby has something.
Oh wait,
No, I have a take on
Oh,
that.
Gab muted. Gab, you're muted.
Wearing a
Gab
hat.
muted. Gab muted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep talking.
And you know what? Listen, the order don't matter to me, guys. Honestly, to me, I say we just go to the games that people have bets on. That's
Yeah,
how I
so
always.
Yeah. I think this is a
Guns,
game
give me
that
a game.
people have bets on for sure.
Give me a
100%.
game, Guns. Let's talk about one of your games.
All right, let's talk about this game. So, like, it's tough to find the angle on this game because you look at both of these teams. They're like, you have Illinois that kind of had their dick kicked in on the road, and now they're playing at home against arguably one of the best teams in college football right now in Ohio State. So, what I did want to focus on is the defense on this game, right? So when you look at the defense here, they get Illinois' defense is suspect. They've given up over 400 yards of total offense to 4 out of their 6 opponents this year. The only teams that didn't really put up yards against them was Western Michigan and Western Illinois. Everybody else put yards on them. In conference play, Illinois is giving up 63 to Indiana, 32 to USC, and 27 to Purdue. So I took note of that, and I didn't really like the spread because I thought it was a little bit high for Ohio State road in conference. But I think there's some validity on taking the team total because you have a team like Ohio State that can put up 37 points per game, and they have a great passing team. So there's going to be like a lot of big chunk yardage. They average 280 passing yards per game. And you can pass on this Illinois team. They gave up 356 to Duke, 267 to Indiana. USC, they gave up 364, and they gave up 302 to Purdue last week. So I think what we have to focus on is the team total. The team total over for Iowa State has validity. I grabbed it at 31.5. I never gave it out as a VIP because I don't know where this game's going to be going. I thought the total was a little bit low, but it kind of leaned towards in 51.5 in college football to me is kind of low, right? It's kind of like the median, especially when you have a 14.5 point favorite on the road. I think Ohio State will score points. I just don't know how many points Illinois will score. And why I say that is their total set at 17.5, but I don't think Ohio State's defense has given up more than 10 points this year to anybody. So I'll say that right now you probably are going to be looking at a high scoring game. And I think it's more beneficial to take Ohio State over team total than it is to even mess with the game.
Man, shout out to everybody rolling in the chat. Moose, if you got a bet, I want to hear what you got to say. But shout out to my guy 2 Cents, man. Nick out there with, excuse me, Water Cooler Talk Sports. Good to see you, man. Big Show picks. Everybody rolling in, man. A lot of the homies out there in the chat as well. Nick, let me know. Is Auburn going to cover against Georgia today? Give us your thoughts in there. I want to hear it. Moose, did you bet this one?
I did. And this is a pretty simple trend. You can go look this up if you'd like. You can play around with the trends, but it is going to show up pretty consistently. That is Ohio State in conference games plays significantly to the under. Just since 2023, 6-15 to the under. And one of the things that I kind of like here, and I really wish I could kind of track this. This is one of the things I actually kind of was like, how could I possibly go research this? But when a better team, the higher ranked team, has a totals trend, how often do they take over and implement that trend in their games? Because it sure as hell feels like if it's a better team that has a significant trend to the over or to the under, that in their games, they take over, they play their game script, and they end up with that trend continuing. And that's kind of what I see here with Ohio State. When they play ranked teams, they will generally play them to the under. And they will take over. They'll just get their win. They'll get out of there, be satisfied with the victory, and continue on with the rest of their season. I see that here. I mean, that is what Ryan Day has done at Ohio State in conference every single year. He gets in there. He holds them to manageable points, gets there on the offensive side, and moves on. I don't mind the team total over on this one because I don't know how Illinois is really going to score. But I will say Illinois has done a very good job with turnovers, which is another reason why I like this under, because Illinois will give you a ton of yards. Remember the USC game, how many times Maivea was throwing interceptions and how often they've gotten turnovers. They didn't do it against Indiana, but they've done it against a lot of other teams. Give me the under here. I'm playing the trend. I'm playing it, and I'm going to probably continue to play it with Ohio State.
Yeah, this feels like a 31-10 or maybe even like a 34-10 win on Ohio State. It
I'm
really
with
does.
you guys. Illinois team total under and the full game under seems like a really good look in this game. I haven't moved on anything yet in this one. It's going to be kicking off here, so I probably won't, but I like those looks. That was definitely my cap as well. But, hey, Cab, we've got our guy backstage probably ready to fire off if you want to bring him on.
Hell yeah, man. Doesn't need a much introduction. You guys know how this show goes. He's going to come on. He's going to bring you guys a lot of best bets, a couple really good parlays, and a lot of money, man. He's been cashing out for over a year now on this show, and I know he's ready to bring the goods today. Shout out right now our guy, Kong's Clips. Kong, what up, man? I want to give you the stage. Let me move this graphic and get off for you real quick.
Yo, happy Saturday. Hope everybody's ready to make some money. Wanted to touch on real quick the Alabama-Missouri spot. I am on Alabama. Hearing Phil Steele, his comments on the game. Alabama's won 6 straight meetings and has never lost in Columbia. Tide rolled last year, 34-0, handing Missouri its first shutout loss since 2019. Alabama's 5-0 straight up and 4-1 ATS and SEC games, each win by 19-plus points. I'm on Bama here. I think Bama's the side. They had the bad game against Florida State, but I do believe that Alabama's turned it around and look to see them in the playoffs. So I'm going to start from the top here. I've got a lot of action this week, like a bunch of action. I'm going to give you a lot of it here. Rest of it can be found on X at Kong's Clips. So go check me out over there. Old Dominion, first half. I've been on this team since they played a tough game at Indiana. Really tough team. Playing Marshall. I'm on ODU first half, -6.5. Laying some juice there, -130. It's a winner. Didn't want to lay the 7.5 in the first half, but I do think they cover a touchdown. Ole Miss playing Washington State. Got Chandler starting today. He's been really good in this offense. I do believe they have a problem trying to figure out who their quarterback is going to be going forward. Ole Miss first quarter -7.5, getting plus money on that. I think they scored twice in the first quarter, and I do believe they hold Washington State scoreless in the first quarter. First quarter -7.5 plus 102. First half, this is a triple up. First half -18.5, -112. Full game -31.5, -110. This Washington State team was only able to put up 10 points on North Texas. We've seen what they gave up last night to USF team that is pretty good, but I don't believe USF's offense is anywhere close to this Ole Miss offense. So I'm laying it with Ole Miss. Going back to what we did last year, laying these big numbers, very successful on it last year. I'm going to start doing that again this season. Ole Miss, triple up, first quarter, first half, full game. TCU playing Kansas State. I've been on TCU a lot this year. And I'm doing it again this week. I waited until the Dylan Edwards news come out. Edwards is out today. Kansas State's star running back. I think that's trouble. I think that is trouble. I said all week Kansas State is going to have to run the ball, and that is their path to victory. Dylan Edwards being out is huge in this game. Give me TCU on the money line -120. Indiana traveling to Oregon. Indiana, man, it's a team real close to me. I'm like 45 minutes away from Indiana University. Been on this team a lot in the past 2 seasons. This is not the spot for Indiana. This is a Oregon spot here today. Indiana having to travel out there to Austin Stadium, playing a better team. This Oregon team is a well-oiled machine. Dante Moore, I was not high on this kid coming into the season, as you guys may know. I didn't think Oregon was going to do much this season, but he's just fit into the system, man. And he's got some star receivers around him. They've got a great running game. They've got a bomb offensive line. I just think Oregon puts it to them, and I think they win by double digits. I'm laying the 7.5 with Oregon, minus 110. Alabama, already gave that out earlier in the week on my X, and I think I might have gave that out on Medicate Monday. Alabama minus 2.5, minus 125. I think Alabama wins this game. I think they're the better team. I think they go in there and get it done against Missouri. Texas Tech. If you are late to the party on Texas Tech, I gave out Texas Tech earlier in the week at 13.5. It has since moved through the 14 up to 14.5. Playing Kansas, this Texas Tech team is no joke. They are sparing no one. I think Texas Tech runs it up again this week. I think they put belts to ass against Kansas, and I think they cover this number quite easily. Utah probably has turned into one of my favorite games of the day. Found out last night that Arizona State is starting Jeff Sims. Let's rewind just a little bit here. About 2 years ago, anybody who's watched college football, if you can remember the Nebraska team from 2 years ago, they had a quarterback that they started, and he was fumbling the ball every other possession. He was throwing interceptions. This guy was Jeff Sims. Potentially the worst quarterback I have ever laid my eyes on, and somehow he transfers over to Arizona State to sit behind Sam Leavitt, and now Arizona is in the unfortunate spot of having to bench Sam Leavitt due to injury, and they have to start Jeff Sims. Let me tell you that Utah is going to mess this team up today. We've seen this number move from 4.5, which I gave it out at earlier in the week, all the way up to 9.5. I would not be surprised if this number does not close at 13, 14 points. Jeff Sims is that bad. He's going to score multiple touchdowns for Utah today. Lay the points with Utah. I have bet this at 4.5. The first half at 4.5. I have bet this at 9.5, and I have bet the first half at 6.5. Heavily invested in this game. Fading the quarterback spot at Arizona State. It is a problem. Utah gets right at home today. Georgia, minus 4.5 to get the plus money number, plus 100. That number is juiced at 3.5. Playing Auburn, I do not believe in Jackson Arnold. I've said it and said it. Yeah, he come out and had a couple great games to start the season, but has regressed to his normal, playing a good Georgia team. I think Georgia runs it up. I don't see Auburn scoring much. I actually have another play on this game on my X account. I'll give it out now. Auburn team total under 21.5. I don't remember the juice on that. But I think Georgia runs it up here. Plus money prop of the week. We are going to have 2 plays in this here. Baron Morton for Texas Tech, 3+ passing touchdowns, plus 130. I think Texas Tech runs it up on Kansas. Kansas games have been going over this season. They're allowing teams to put up a lot of points. So I think Baron Morton can throw the deep ball here. I think he can move the ball up and down the field. Him to have 3 passing touchdowns in this game is plus 130. Josh Hoover, I did play him over 1.5 passing touchdowns. It is juiced. So I also bumped it up, and I'm playing the 3+ here. playing a decent Kansas State defense, so it worried me a little bit. But what I liked here is the number. You're getting plus 194 on Josh Hoover to throw 3 passing touchdowns. I think he can make it happen today. So Josh Hoover 3+ passing touchdowns and Barrett Morton 3+ passing touchdowns, both at plus money. On to the 2-unit parlay of the week. This play has not been good to me this season. Looking to get back on track here today. A couple easy spots, in my opinion. To get that done, we are on Alabama money line. We are on Oregon money line. We are on Old Dominion alternate spread minus 6.5, and the Texas Tech alternate spread minus 13.5 at plus 409. Let's get this one through the hoop, and then come back next week and try to make it happen again. Appreciate you guys for having me. I do have probably 10 more plays on my Twitter account. So go over there and check that out. I love you guys. Appreciate you for having me. Call. I'm out.
Wine time. If you want, I'll let you introduce our next guy. I can see right up his nose backstage.
Yeah, I
he'll
can
be
see him
quick
too.
too.
I call
really like.
Con, like I listen to Con.
Further ado,
Hold on. Okay,
come on.
sorry.
Let's bring on our next guest right here. Some people call him the backbone of Pub Sports Radio, and I do believe he is. And he did just disappear. Let's
Good.
wait
I can
for
see
him,
right up
guys.
his
You
nose.
guys see him all week long on Betting with the Bag. Sometimes you see Betting with Bouet. He is the star of Say Hey Plays. Come on, Jose, get up. I can't see you back there, my guy. Get up. Okay.
I would have rather heard what Gunn said than saw up Jose's nose.
No, like I like Con's pick like gives the knowledge, like, and I listened to probably half of it because, but like in my head, like it's no hate to him because he really does have a lot of the picks that are on the same side as me, but I call him piss break Con's clips. It's like it gives me a break. I'm like, oh, I can stretch, I can take a break. But like, dude, he gave the best knowledge, so appreciate him for joining. That's all I was trying to say.
Hey, okay, let's bring on our next guest from San Antonio, Texas. He's live somewhere, probably drinking, having a good time, hopefully not throwing up in his motor vehicle. Let's bring on my guy, Jose Bouet. Jose, welcome.
Christ. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Welcome to the program, Jose. I cannot hear you.
I am walking. Great. There we go. We're good now. Yeah, I'm walking, so I'm in shitty Wi-Fi areas. So sorry about that.
Then what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm
Good
trying.
to have you, Jose.
I'm trying.
No, it's not.
Thank you. I'm trying not to die, Cab. I'm sorry. I'm
Your
trying
phone's
not
not
to
even
die
turning
at
sideways. It's
35.
just sideways, which is weird as fuck.
Well, let me just turn this off. Here we go. There we go. We
It's a
better
beautiful-
now.
And we're
Hopefully
back to
better now.
sideways.
There we go. All right. Well, it's nice to see you guys here. I'm glad I could bomb in here and make an appearance on my first tailgate show this year. I am officially taking the moniker of college football capper. Everyone, I'd like to announce that. I'm officially college football capper. Wow.
I thought you do baseball.
Thank
What are you doing on this show?
Yeah, exactly, Guns. I'm
Who
a
had that
fucking
sound
skunk
effect?
changing its stripe.
Yeah.
If I was straight from Moose's mouth, I assume.
Video for this.
Jose, please let us know your action. What game do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, so let's talk about the games we've talked about here shortly. Texas, Oklahoma. We can start off there. In no world should Oklahoma be an underdog against Texas, and that is the funniest thing in the world to me. That this that's been shit all over all year. Arch Manning's been shit on from Jump Street. Today's the buy low spot on the Longhorns. Texas wins outright. Texas money line for me minus 115.
Okay.
Yeah, just
like
an
it.
absurd
Hold
opening
on.
line.
I have to call out Moose's comment, man. That made me cry. I go, is this walking bets?
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jose,
Moose,
can
do you have any
just jump
thoughts?
up and down a couple of times?
Yeah. Can you take your shirt off for this one?
You know what?
We'll lose viewers.
I hear you guys in and out. I'm sorry.
No, you're
That's
good,
why.
Jose. Yeah, so Moose is
Usually
in
the best way to
agreement
listen
with
to
you
it.
to a certain extent. He didn't actually move on this game, but our guy Guns is on the other side of you. So I'm gonna let Guns give his take on this really quick.
Are we gonna? You mean
He's definitely got enough chest, man.
He's wearing that hard orange, and it should be like soaked in blood because you have an Oklahoma team. Their defense is probably the best defense that they're going to see all year for the Texas Longhorns. And you thought it was last week in the swamp. You ain't seen what's coming. I was like, I watched them against Michigan, against a young quarterback, and they are able to just absolutely thump these teams. And like, even though the quarterback situation is kind of in question there for Oklahoma, it doesn't matter. It's like, I could be the quarterback. Wine Time could be the quarterback. Moose could be the quarterback. Shit, even you could be the quarterback in this game. And it doesn't matter because that defense is going to carry you across the threshold. And like a young bride going into their hotel room to get her virginity taken from her. This is going to be one of those type of games where Oklahoma, as a double-digit dog last year, mind you, less than 1 year later, is now sitting here as a short dog for some reason, is because Venables has built himself a team. He fixed the offense. And even if John Mateer plays, doesn't matter if the backup plays, the backup already showed that he could put 44 on Kent State. And people go, oh, it's just Kent State. It doesn't matter. You put up points. It's like, but I'm telling you, Oklahoma is going to thump this Texas team in a revenge spot. Give me Oklahoma all day long.
No, shout out to Scum Blaster. He said to Guns, keep saying quarterback, please. I know. I love the way you say quarterback. I love that.
Dude, the New England
You guys
accent.
shut up so Jose can get the fuck off
The
the
New England
stage.
accent is thumping today.
All right, Jose, let the people know what your next play is.
What about cuz?
Yeah. So that was a great breakdown.
Hurry the fuck up.
Oh, that's good. Get him out of here.
Let's see if he pops back up really quick. Let me remove him, and then we'll bring him back to the
walking
stage.
pit. Look at this guy. He didn't even
Colorado,
show the clip.
if you guys hear me, hopefully,
Yes,
I'm on
we can.
Iowa State. I'm on Colorado
There you
plus
go.
the 3 points. Another absurd line to me. I think Dion, not a good coach, all that good stuff. But I think that's an absurd line. I think it's trying to get people to bet Iowa State off a loss. So I am on the Colorado Buffaloes plus 3 minus 110. All these spots are, just kind of classic market spots for me. And ranked team underdog against an unranked team that I just bet consistently and quietly. So Colorado plus 3 plus 3 for me.
Awesome, Jose. Do you have anything else you want to give out, my guy?
All right. Bye.
I think he's now called the Voice.
Thank
right?
you, Jose Mathis.
The voice, guys.
Call him the Voice.
Everyone give a round of applause for the voice of Jose Bouet.
Yeah. Bouquet, walking bets.
All right,
yeah,
guys, let's
Bouquet
get right
bets.
to it.
There you
Let's
go.
kind of just start back off where Jose ended right there, because this is a game I wanted to do with, and Jose is back there right now, but let's pull this game up really quick. Iowa State at Colorado. Guys, I told Moose, I said, I don't want to hear nothing about no X and O standpoint in this game. I don't care who you think's the better team. I know who the better team is. I know who the better coaching staff is. I know who the better program is. But why the hell is it a plus 3, plus 2.5 throughout the whole week? This is one of the spots where I literally said I'm betting this from a market standpoint, and not from an X and O standpoint. It doesn't happen too often. This is one of the games that there's other games you could argue the same thing, but this just crosses everything for me on the market standpoint. And I think Colorado wins this game outright. Dion got that surgery this week. Hopefully his players are going to be ready to go, but that elevation up in Boulder is going to take a big toll on these bodies from Iowa State, who they're already down a couple key defenders still. Not too sure about their kicking situation, so that will be interesting. But I just think Colorado wins this game outright. I'm on Colorado plus 1, minus 110 first half, and plus 3, minus 110 full game, 2 units on this, guys. This is a big one. I'm really excited for this one.
Man,
let me know if I'm wrong, Moose.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you about Colorado at this point. Going into the year, if you check the Phil Steele rankings, you'll see Colorado listed as one of the top 10 passing offenses in the country.
Jeez.
Is Shador still there?
And they have run the ball more than they've passed it this year. I don't know what Pat Shurmur is doing. And, I mean, obviously you care about Dion just like from a personal life perspective, but a lot of people are making fun of Bill Belichick for like the involvement of his girlfriend or whatever she is with that program. Dion's got a very similar situation with his girlfriend. I mean, his girlfriend is at a lot of the practices, a lot of the games. You've seen her on the sidelines. Like, she is very much like in the area. I'm not going to use that as like any kind of reason why you should or shouldn't bet Colorado, but there's some nuances to the Colorado program right now that are leaving a lot of us Buffalo fans kind of vexed. Like, are we now a running team? Like, when did this happen? And why are we not using some of the best receivers in the country? I mean, Amarion Miller is one of the best receivers in the country and doesn't get utilized. Caden Salter is capable of passing the ball, but hasn't really. Julian Lewis, I've heard that he is going to be getting design plays and design snaps every week. Every week you hear it, and he doesn't show up. So what is going on? I don't know what to think on the offensive side of the ball. I love the Colorado defense side of the ball, mainly because of what you see with Nata and what you see with Sapp out there. I mean, those guys got the defensive line playing very well. They have the pass rush can be very good at times. And the main thing to look at this and what you're talking about with the market, altitude is so significantly a factor in this game and in conference games with Colorado because these teams do not play at altitude. Any of you that have gone up to an altitude and played a sport, an actual competitive sport, not just like out in the front yard with, your little cousins or anything like that, you will get gassed just starting to swing the bat or just warming up, throwing the ball. Like, it takes a toll on you very quickly. And that is a reason why you're seeing the market react the way it is. You look at you look at that one site and 72% of the tickets coming in on Iowa State, 78% of the money is coming on Iowa State. It has been like that, and the total has just dropped. This is Colorado as a side ATS, but I cannot trust it because I do not know what is going on the offensive side of the ball. I think we are having an identity crisis as a program on what kind of team this is going to be. So I'm staying off, but the only way I could bet it would be Colorado.
Guns, you have anything in this one? If not, I'll keep us rolling.
All I'll say about this one is it's probably a Colorado spot, knowing that the secondary injuries for Iowa State are concerning to me. But Caden Salters, and you talk about the game plan, it's like you forget that like they were a high passing team because that's what Shador Sanders wanted to do. Caden Salters, even when he was with Liberty with Jamie Chadwell, I was like he was more dual threat running. So they try to play to his scheme. So like that's what kind of Colorado is kind of adjusting to, and maybe they're not ready for that here in this game. But that line kind of is a telling story. We see the line kind of dip down. Iowa State was a 4.5 point favorite. Now it's dipped down to, I'm seeing 2.5 hit the board on this one. I say if you're going to play this game, you got to take Colorado at Boulder. But is this a game that's going to be on my my card today? Absolutely not. But I think maybe a little bit of a motivation. How many surgeries is Deion Sanders dying? I mean, he's getting his leg chopped off.
No, it's a bladder thing.
Oh,
he can't stop pissing.
It's a foot and it's his bladder. I'm concerned about Deion, man. Is he okay? And by the way, like, stop asking him questions about Shador Sanders and the dynamic of the Cleveland Browns quarterback room because he doesn't want to hear it. So that's it.
Well, I'm trying hard not to listen. I will go to that A&M game, Dawn. I promise. We will not get off without talking about it. There's no way that would happen. I promise. But real quick, we're going to hit this one first because I saw a couple people in the chat actually asking about that. And shout out to Swiss, man. Everybody rocking in. Got up over 160, man. I've been saying it. We get to 250, I'm going to do a giveaway. It looks like Jose is locked and loaded on his screen now, which is going to work much better. I don't know why you couldn't have just waited 10 minutes and done that in the first place, asshole. But
better, Cab. It will indeed work much better.
Much better. I was going to really quick, I'm going to tell you guys, everybody saw my breakdown probably with Pete. So I'm on TCU, and if you didn't see it, go check that breakdown. I added Hoover over 1.5 passing touchdowns plus TCU on the money line. It gives you plus 142. I only put a half unit on it. So I got 2 bets in this. I think TCU, like I said, I could possibly win the Big 12 this year. They've already lost 1 game. They can't lose another here. Avery Johnson is a huge puss stick. I've told you that he's going to get broke, man. The kid cannot take a hit. He is a big baby, okay? TCU's defensive line is bulked up a little bit. Their defense is playing better football. They would have won that fucking game against Arizona State if McAllister played. Don't give a damn what nobody says. That's the honest truth. I know for a fact they would have. TCU wins this game against Kansas State. Go ahead, Jose, and welcome back. I like to keep it 4 at a time, so I'll click buttons for us for a second.
And you are muted, Jose Bouet.
Oh, obviously.
Oh,
Obviously.
They're starting off hot, guys. Ba, 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 ba. I don't have anything in this game, but I hope you guys at least heard that I'm on Colorado, Moose. I don't do any X's and O's. I couldn't tell you one player on any of these teams. I'm betting them all on market spots. So the fact that Moose is like, I can't do it. Like, this team has screwed me, and he knows all the background of the team makes me feel better about it. So thank you, Moose.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You grab my
on-
pain brings you joy.
I'm on Kansas State, guys. I broke this down with Jimmy. I broke it down with Boston Sauce last night. I'm on Kansas State plus 1.5. I know Dylan Edwards. Someone mentioned Dylan Edwards was going to be out. He wasn't even the number 1 back going into this week. Cleatless Joe Jackson is very much the number 1 back now. The last couple weeks, he's getting all the touches, and he's probably the better running back right now. So I think he's still going to run wild. ASU beat TCU by running the ball and burning the clock, keeping that offense off the field. Kansas State does that at home. I think they take care of business. Not going to lie, I don't like seeing the line go to a +2, +2.5. And I know Cab don't want to hear me say that either. So I'm still on Kansas State, though. I think they take care of business and win this ball game.
Yeah, it's a pass for me.
Moose, anything for you?
I was shocked at when I checked out this game to see that it was lined up as almost basically a pick 'em. I was like, TCU is significantly better than Kansas State. So why? It is a homecoming game. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what trends are available on Kansas State homecoming games. There's nothing that I found. So if you have something out there, drop it in the chat because I sure as hell couldn't find anything. But the index was Kansas State is a pick 'em, Kansas State minus 1.5, Kansas State +2, Kansas State -1, Kansas State +3.5, Kansas State -6. Dude, Cab talked about Avery Johnson in any kind of big moment. It is not that long ago that I watched him on a play against Arizona in like 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, just run out of bounds. Like, didn't even throw the ball. Like, just ran out of bounds. Like, one of the dumbest quarterback plays I've ever seen besides Orlovsky running out the back of the end zone. It's like, you realize you can throw the ball past the line of scrimmage and it's not going to put you all the way back. Anyways, I digress. I don't have a play on this game. The line is very efficient to me. I would only be on TCU here, but it being basically a pick 'em. Hoover has not thrown as well on the road, but he sure as hell looked good against Arizona State. And just like Cap, if they had McAllister, that's probably a win. That's probably a win in cover because they had some third downs. That
Don't you fucking roll your eyes, wine time.
they had some third downs that you saw. If it's McAllister, it's getting brought in. So I could only beat TCU here, but the line scares me. The line on the money that is coming in, I believe, has been coming in on TCU, and the line hasn't really moved too much, although you're starting to see it move. So that's kind of a little concerning, but yeah, I'm off of this. Sorry, guys.
Yes, sir, guys. We got to keep moving along. We have a lot of games still to talk about. Jose, what's next for you, my guy? You're muted, my guy.
Good fucking Lord.
Damn it. It's a great question, Wine Time. I'm trying to figure out.
I got you right here because I think you joined me on this spot, guys. Let's go to the beautiful, I wouldn't say beautiful, this stadium's trash, but Coliseum located in Los Angeles, California here. Got Michigan coming to town here. You guys remember this matchup from last year? The spread, I mean, they were playing in Michigan. USC supposedly had way higher expectations. Michigan didn't. We're on Michigan in that spot because it was a tough road travel for USC coming over from the West Coast over to Michigan to fly in there. weird start time. And we saw USC pretty much win that game from start to finish, besides in the final corner when Michigan absolutely ran the doors off by running the ball on them. It was crazy to see. It was a big upset. And listen, guys, USC has had a bye, and we didn't mention this 2 weeks ago. They took a loss to Illinois at Illinois. We were all in Illinois in that game. It seemed like a clear-cut Illinois spot. This seems like a clear-cut USC spot. It's not often I have 3 units on a game ever in any kind of sport. It's the first time all year I'll have 3 units on this. So I got 15 on this game here. 1 on USC on the spread, 500 on the money line. This is a big play for me, guys. I think USC getting their captain on defense and best player on defense in Kamari Ramsey. He was throwing up the morning of the Illinois game, couldn't play in that game. They really missed him in that secondary, play safety and the nickelback position. They also are getting back wide receiver Jacoby Lane. Besides Ohio State and Alabama's wide receiver room, this is the number 3 wide receiver room in the nation with the 1-2 punch of Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane. Mekhi Lemon's going in the first round. Shout out to my guy out of Los Alamitos High School. There's a reason why Mekhi Nelson was a 5-star product, because he was throwing to this guy his whole high school career at Los Alamitos. Kid's a stud out there. I think USC has the better team this year, and they're playing at home. It's a revenge game. If Lincoln loses this game, he better get canned. I mean, if he doesn't get canned, that's wild, because the fans want him canned already. The boosters want him canned. If someone come up with, it's hard to come up with $100 million. I get it, but at the same time, this program, they want so much more than what they're getting right now. They need this win very badly. Give me the 2.5. Give me the money line. Give them to me both. USC wins this game.
I agree with you. Wine time on USC money line with you. Ranked team, underdog against an unranked team. I typically take it every week. Only gets a little sketchy in the 20s. Top 15 team, I'll take it. So USC for me, money line minus 1.
Hearts racing talking about this game right now.
Good.
I this is the only one I haven't posted. I'm on USC as well. Go ahead,
Let's go, Cab.
All right. Can I talk about this game? All right. Let me give you a little take on the total on this one, because I think we're looking at an over. We're looking at like a high scoring game in this situation. And I want to shout out a super true story. I want to answer his question about like, why is JMU laying 18 points? It's like, because they're playing in conference and for the Gun Belt, the 2 best teams in the Gun Belt are ODU and JMU. And they're playing next week too. And I can't wait to break that game down with you guys next week. So that's a little bit of a teaser. I'm going to have a bet for the boys on that one. But I want to talk about the total in this game. Now, the line doesn't make sense, because mind you, if you look at the side last year with USC on the road in the big house, 4.5 favorite on the road. Now they're a minus 2.5 favorite in the Coliseum. As much as I want to take an unranked favorite versus a ranked dog, which is kind of like a 60 to 65% hit rate, I think the total has validity, though. So last year, these teams met. The total was 44. Now it's like, what, 56.5, 57.5. So line correlation kind of work on this one. And it kind of makes sense, because USC is 4-1 to the over in this season, 7-2 to the over at home last 9 home games. Then you have Michigan, that is kind of an over team too, 3-2 to the over this year. And this is the first time the total has surpassed 50 points in any of their games this year. So take note of that one. So sometimes you don't have to know what the teams are doing. Just go look at the totals, look at the lines, see like, oh, that's a weird line. Why is this line that weird? And then you got to back yourself into how this works. And Michigan State's defense has been solid, but they've shown some vulnerability. You look at against Nebraska, it gave up 308 passing yards. You have Oklahoma, they gave it 270 against them in 20 both those games, over 25 points in both of those. I think 27 and 24. And then you have this Michigan offense that is continually growing, putting up 34, 63, 30, 24, 4 out of the last 5 games. And the only low scoring game was against Oklahoma. And this is why I keep emphasizing people about this Oklahoma defense, because look what Michigan is doing to everybody else they go against. They're scoring points. So I think this is going to be an over spot. And I think we're going to see a little bit of back and forth in this one. Give me the over in that game.
All right, Moose. Let me hear what you this angle that you have in this game.
So I think this was probably the game that we talked about the most, just back and forth, just because every time I'd get close to betting USC, like that 2.5 would just be like, why? Why is it 2.5? Like, I mean, Juan, you would argue that this Michigan team is worse than last year, and I'd argue that it's probably better than last year. Not necessarily like player to player, but just like as a team, just functionally, how they're able to kind of have a little bit better of a moving functional offense. So I kind of have Michigan as a slightly better team than it was last year. But regardless, they're somewhat close to where they were last year. USC is definitely better. So why the hell did it go from the 5.5 favorite at Ann Arbor to now at the Coliseum, they are only 2.5? Like that was mind-blowing to me. But the market did move the number on USC, and the bets were pretty much split. This was a game I monitored all week. It was pretty much 50-50 tickets and money all week, and you still saw the line kind of move up towards USC. Kong already threw it out there with the one of the best stats. Kong, man, love that stat. Team, the higher ranked team, 17-5 since the beginning of the last season. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those spots where I didn't really know where to go on the side, but Guns pointed it out. This is a total spot for me. Before I get there, though, one of the things that Wine you talked about was that this is essentially a must-win for Lincoln Riley, that this could be the genesis of his firing. And if that is the case, I absolutely want no part of that, because Lincoln Riley in big game moments, in big games, has really struggled. When he first came into the conference back in 22, he was able to beat UCLA, a ranked UCLA. He was able to beat a ranked Notre Dame, but those are the only times he beat a ranked team. He has been he has been not ranked team, but that is the only time he's been able to win big games later in the season. Because you look at when he's played bigger games later in the season, against Notre Dame, he was a loss. Against Utah, that was a loss. Against Washington, that was a loss. Yes, they beat LSU to open the season neutral field, but beyond that, Michigan, that was a loss. Penn State, that was a loss. And I remember specifically a game against Utah in the Pac-12 Conference Championship game, where that offense came out and was looking very good. But then Cam Rising and Dalton Kincaid just took over.
That was crazy. I'll never forget that game, Moose.
Yeah.
Me and Cab were on opposite sides. He was on, I think he was on USC and I was on Utah, I think. But he was on the spread. He got +3, and I was on Utah money line, and we both cashed, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I remember that because I think I was on that exact same bet with you on USC. So I think Lincoln Riley, when he has pressure, he starts kind of, sphinctering up a little bit. But I like them first half, and I'm not going to take them as a side. But one of the things that I found is in the 2 road games that Michigan has played, and historically, Michigan on the road has been a little bit more lenient in their defensive prowess early in games. So the bet that I got here, and I kind of think this is a sneaky ass little bet here. First half USC team total over 13.5, and a Jaden Mayava passing yards over 224.5. That's +110. And that's where I ended up, because I think they are going to score 14. Michigan has allowed 17 points in both of their road games against good opponents. When they played Oklahoma and when they played Nebraska, they both allowed 17 points first half. USC can definitely score. So give me the team total over 13.5 with a little Jaden Mayava passing yards over 225. He averages 300 passing yards a game. And that is my play for today.
Let's go, guys. That was honestly a fun cap right there. You get both sides to everything because, Moose, you touched on a lot of good points I didn't touch on if you're a Michigan backer, guys. So shout out to that. Jose, anything, what another game you want to get to here, my guy?
Yes, we've talked about Texas, we've talked about USC, we've talked about Colorado. You guys talked about Missouri, Alabama here. I'll just add my 2 cents in here as well. Shout out to just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Missouri +3 for me. Another
all right, good take.
Stinky line. Stinky line here. Alabama should be favored by 7 points, most likely. I don't think this Missouri team is all that great. And the fact that they are
feel better that Jose is on Bama.
Missouri for me here.
I didn't know. I didn't. I thought you. I'm sorry. I thought.
Don't you worry, Guns. The Missouri
right,
here
I'm on Bama now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, like I said, I couldn't tell you one thing about Missouri as a team, but the fact that they were only giving 3 points here was surprising to me. So I took Missouri +3. And to roll on here to our last game, or to my last game, I should say, big game here at 3:30, 2:30, whatever the fuck time zone you're in. It is Indiana, Oregon here. Another just purely market spot for me. Shout out to Fernando Mendoza, the closest thing I can get to a Mexican or a Hispanic person playing quarterback. There is 69% of the bets, 76% of the money on Oregon. This line opened up at 9.5. It's gone down to 7. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers here, +7. If I had more balls, if I had more cojones, I would take all of these +3s, plus whatevers. I would take them all on the money line as well because I do think they could all win outright. But I'll take Indiana +7 here. Kind of another surprising line here. I personally think, Oregon's been the best team in football this year. And so I would think in my head it would be -10, -14. And Indiana's here to play. Curt Cignetti's going to rile up the boys. So I'll take Indiana +7, -110.
Yeah, I'm not going to shit on Curt Cignetti. He's my guy, but he sucks as a dog. He sucks as a dog.
Jose, now you see what you're doing with Guns. He's sitting here fucking giving out it. He probably didn't even realize you had an Oregon hat on because he doesn't even know what their logo looks like.
No, he's too busy like showing his cleavage out in the fucking park, wherever he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just trying to
he's trying to get that
right.
Taylor Mathis.
No, but seriously, Jose, thank you. If you win your bets, we'd love to have you back.
Yeah, shout out.
And if I lose, I'll go fuck off.
Anyone?
Right side on Missouri. I'll give you that one, man. Right side on Missouri. Give it up. Shout
okay,
out.
well, I'm glad Guns is telling me I'm going to go 1-4 today or whatever the fuck.
You're not winning that. You're not winning that. All right.
And by the way,
you got like
you can shit on me. Like my DMs are open. Shit on me if I'm wrong. Shit on me.
Okay, I'll try to keep this notes, but good luck, everyone. Cab,
Jose, thanks for joining us on a Saturday, my guy. Anytime you want to join us, you're always welcome, my guy. Let's bring back to the stage Daby Cab right here. Guys, this is another game. The two huge games on the board that I'm not a part of. I didn't want to bet this game. I didn't think I had a good angle on this one, so I stayed away. Be cheering for you guys on the sideline. Daby Cab, do you have anything in Indiana, Oregon? No. Moose?
I might bet Oregon with Guns if it keeps coming down.
Yeah, I gave my cap on Oregon, so I'll just leave it to Moose.
You did? When did we do it?
I kind of did. Do you want me to do it again?
Just now.
You got the Oregon hat on. If you gave it, and I don't remember it.
All right, yeah. Let me do a full sell job. I did write a blog about this one, so I can't remember how many shows I've done this on because I think I've regurgitated it probably 3 or 4 times. So I apologize if I really haven't given the cap on this one. So I like with Indiana, what I keep it kind of short and sweet. It's like with Indiana, every time they're a dog. Under Curt Cignetti, which is a very small window on this one. There's only been 2 occasions, right? It was Ohio State, 38-15 loss in that one. They played Notre Dame in the college football playoff. By the way, both these on the road, 27-17 loss, and they lost a yardage battle. So it was not just an anomaly that they lost by this many points, like turnovers or whatever. It was because they lost because they got dominated in the yardage battle. Over 100, -100 yards in both those games, which never happens with Curt Cignetti. So he might be the Kurt Franklin. We don't know until we see it. But this is the first time Indiana has been a dog this season, and I think people get a little bit high on Indiana. But mind you, the first 4 games of the season they were at home. Even when they played Illinois and they stomped them 63-10 as a 7-point favorite at home on a line that was 52-53, which we're seeing here, by the way. Dan Lanning just knows how to motivate his team in these big game situations. He did it with the whiteout in Penn State, right? What he said, greatest speech ever. He goes, there's a whiteout out here. He goes, do you see a whiteout? He goes, no, I see a canvas. I see a canvas where I can fucking put blood on those cocksuckers. He motivated his team, and he got the win on that one. People denied this Oregon team, and that was on the road. And now you see him at home. Now, is Dan Lanning going to be a playoff guy? Absolutely not. We're not going to back him in those big game situations. But regular season, Dan Lanning is a fucking beast. And the books are adjusting the line to above a possession. Oregon's going to thump this team by double digits. So Oregon's my play.
He said, you know what I do to a whiteout? I snort that shit.
Right?
No, he said, you can't say that with cameras in the room, but he said it's a canvas. It was a very good speech. That got me fired up. It's like, paint that fucking picture. Paint that picture. Make it your own. It's great. Awesome.
Did you have a bet in this one, Moose?
Oh man, you just sometimes, man, it's called cocaine coaching, baby. You just gotta.
That is fucking wild.
I mean, when I saw, I was upset when the game ended, but god damn, was I amused as hell at that interview where he's just coked out of his mind. Just
I love coked out coaches.
oh man. But I mean, it's funny because if you've been in those games, like if you've been in those like big time games and you come out like victorious, oh my god, the amount of adrenaline that is just coursing through your body is it's sometimes uncontrollable. So I kind of understood. Like it was funny because like I know that feeling. I am that kind of coach, and I hope I've never looked like that to some of my players before.
Let's be honest. It probably wasn't Coke. It probably wasn't adrenaline. That's called 90 milligrams of Adderall throughout the day.
Yeah. No, Jay Landon is not a Coke guy. He's not a Coke guy. I never heard him sniff or drag his teeth. I just think that guy is probably on. Yeah, you're meds.
I fucking know. Let's go. Keep going.
I mean, I appreciate you giving an actual breakdown on what substance he might be involved.
His brain's on point, but it's not Coke point. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like he would go on a tangent in his room. He's like, "Hey, by the way, there's a canvas out there. You know what I should do? I should buy a boat. You know, you ever think about buying a boat? Now, that's Coke. That's Coke brain. But like Adderall brain's a little bit different.
Yes, the coordinator is like, "Fucking, hey, Coke, come here. It's time to go pen jamming, man. You got to calm down."
The interesting point to me is that you have all the money coming in on Oregon. All the bets are coming in on Oregon, and the line is dropping. But one of the things that I kind of noticed is if you wanted to buy your way up, like when it's at the 7.5 and you wanted to buy your way up, it was only minus 135 buying your way all the way up to like the 9. So I think that, and that was Bovada that I was referencing, a Bet Online and Bet DSI, which are the only offshores I have available because I am in California where I am not allowed to have legal sports gambling. And that's the only thing that politicians seem to agree on is to prevent Moose from being able to have more books available to him. I digress. I was a little surprised, but it was kind of like, okay, that kind of makes sense. The 9.5 to the 7.5 isn't exactly all that big of a number. If I'm betting this, the only way I'm betting this is if I can get Indiana at an 8. And if I'm getting Indiana at an 8 at this point, I'm probably not wanting it. No problem about it. I don't want it because
so you don't want it at 7.5?
7.5, I do not want because I want the 8.
Right.
I want it to have that insurance. I wanted the insurance of the two score lead. Because I don't know necessarily if this is Guns, you're confident that it is a 2-score game. I am not confident it's a 2-score game, but I sure as hell could see it being an 8-point cover. And if I didn't have the 8, I wouldn't really want it. And now
Oregon likes 2-point conversions. I get it.
Yeah, well, it's also the fact that if they are in those situations where you're getting to the 2-point in the overtime, like it is possible to have that 8-point cover. So that's kind of also what it was going into it is I think this is going to be a good game. I'm watching this game whether I have a bet on it or not. I couldn't pull the trigger on Indiana when it was 8 coming down because I was like, there's Oregon money. Like, have people not seen what Oregon just did against Penn State in one of the toughest environments to play in? There's going to be Oregon buyback on the line, and it hasn't shown up. So the only way I could bet it would be Indiana, but I don't want to bet at the 7. I only want the 8. And if it shows up now, it's too late for me. So I'm going to probably stay off this game. But I am still kind of looking at Indiana plus 7.5. If I can get an 8, maybe, but at 7.5, I don't want it.
I lose. Google me. That's Kerr Signetti after this game.
Man, I was reading through the chat and listening while you were capping. I was thinking how much I love this shit, man. We got over 190 people rocking with us in YouTube. YouTube and X, it's up over 400. So shout out to all you guys. I threw a membership in there. It said Mario Barrios 420 got it. 420 means you should show up on the sesh, Barrios, and we'd love to see you in the chat. And shout out to you, man. Glad you got it. And shout out to everybody that's got a membership. Think about supporting the channel if you can. And let's keep this thing rolling, man. I'm going to go ahead and put this one up.
Come on. Shout out to our guy and our host of the show, one of the backbones of Pub Sports Radio, Daby Cab, gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's go, guys. It's game time over here for UCLA in 30 minutes. We're drinking now. Let's go.
It's time, bro. The Alabama, Missouri. We gotta get moving here. We gotta get moving, man.
Yeah, we gotta keep going. Let's go. Keep going.
So where is it though? This one here. Okay. Listen. I don't give a fuck what people say. Okay. I think I offended somebody the other day. First off, you're still my dude. If I say something and I'm like, hey, I don't give a fuck, I didn't say fuck you. Right. And even if I did say fuck you, you're still probably my dude. Anybody in the chat. But they said something about when Cab fades A&M, then I'll be interested or something like that. Look, here's the deal. I said it the first 2 weeks. I said they don't cover spreads like that. Okay, with UTSA, with Utah State, and they didn't. Okay, I was all over A&M on the money line in different fashions and parlays against Notre Dame. I was wrong against Auburn, but if you watch the football game, that backdoor cover was tough to take, right? But I also didn't have that. I had Moss on the money line. Or Moss to score a touchdown and A&M on the money line. So I still fucking cashed my bet on that game. Okay. The one I lost was last week where I had Craver over 84.5 yards in A&M money line. Craver only got 80 yards. My bad. First bet that I've lost where I actually bet A&M. Okay. Florida does scare me as far as the spread goes just a little bit. But I think that Florida is going to show that was first off a weak Texas team. Second, they were at home in one of the toughest environments to play in all of college football. Mm-hmm. Third, that was just a magical thing. And Texas still had a chance to go down and tie that football game at the end, right? Texas, who I think is not that good of a football team. A&M right now is firing on all cylinders. They have given up 1 first down in 33 third down attempts on defense. Terrion York is ripping heads right now, okay? Watch that linebacker. You want to talk about somebody that's absolutely filling gaps and just moving downhill at a pace right now. This guy is electric. The defense, I think, was holding back a little bit, so to speak, with Elko's blitz packages and schemes early on. They've been unleashing them. They've been getting after them. I trust them to contain Lagway here. Okay, so I've got Concepcion over 55.5 yards and the A&M on the money line. It's minus 115. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm on this game as well. I'm on Florida here in this spot. I got the plus 7.5, minus 110. It's down to a 7 at most spots. It's probably going to close at a 6.5 if I was to guess. Yeah, it's just it's a spot, I think, for Florida. I think A&M probably pulls out this with a last-minute field goal to win this game. I do think Texas A&M is the better team here. I don't know by how much here. Florida's a really talented team. We saw it last year in the beginning of the season, how bad they struggled. Everyone was calling for Billy Napier's job. They end up having a nice second half of the season, which I think is what's going to happen with this Florida team the second half of this season. We already saw them take care of business outright against Texas last week. Again, though, I touched on it. I don't think Texas is that good of a team. A&M's definitely a step up, and this is definitely a step up when it comes to an environment-wise. I just think you've got too much talent on that defensive line from Florida. I mean, this is by far the best defensive line that Texas A&M has seen this year. It's not even close. I think they're going to give Marcel Reed some trouble over there, and this is going to come down to a last-minute field goal. I think Florida plus 7.5. I'll take that all day long. It's down to a 7 right now. People are, I'm sure, I haven't looked at it, but I'm sure everyone's hammering A&M in this spot. So give me Florida.
Can I go?
Guns, you can go.
All right. So am I going to take this?
We can't say that.
Absolutely not.
Gay.
Absolutely not. But Texas A&M is going to win this game. Mind you, they beat a very good Notre Dame team and on the road, by the way. And everybody wants to like downgrade Notre Dame. No, it's like, no, let's upgrade Texas A&M. Mike Elko is doing some great goddamn things over there. And it's like, the way you need to treat this game, you need to treat it on the fact that who has the best coach? Mike Elko versus Billy Napier. And by the way, Billy Napier in the swamp against Texas and against Sarkisian. By the way, Sarkisian got fired from USC because he was an alcoholic and found his way into the rehabilitation program with Nick Saban, just like every other coach that's walked in there. Now, lo and behold, they end up getting head coaching jobs. He just kind of like stepped into that one. And then you go play Billy Napier with his back against the wall. This guy came from like what? ULL? I mean, stop it, guys. Mike Elko is a beast. He was a defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. He was a defensive coordinator for Texas A&M. He walked into the Duke program, a Duke program that had no football program before he showed up. And that team was an 8 to 9 win team when he walked in there. And Texas A&M, mind you, like they've kind of been disappointing over the years. But I think Mike Elko's got these guys cooking right now. Same thing with Miami. Like this team is legit, and like I'm not going to take the spread on this one because I think this is a letdown here for Florida. but I think it's a good leg for a money line. If you do a 2-team money line with like something else, like maybe one of the gun belt plays like ODU or JMU, you can probably get some value on this one. But Texas A&M is going to win this game. I don't know by how much, but they're going to win this game.
There is a term out there, and Moose, I want to let you get it. Battered Aggie syndrome, I think, is out there. And I do fully understand the term because I have had it forever. And even when they have been ranked in the top 10 in the last few years, I knew better. Every fucking time I knew better, okay? I looked at them, I said, this is overranking, they're overhyping, and I can stop real quick to shout out our dude Stand on Biz, man. Much love to you. Shout out for the $10 dono, man. We really appreciate it.
Shout out to Stand on Biz. I'm taking another one for my guy, even though that first one was fucking rough, man. We're gonna take
two chasers, man. My goodness.
Well, I didn't realize I had no water in here, so I had to sip it with the coffee.
I was like, God damn, dude.
The coffee's all right.
Oh yeah,
shit, I remember the first time I drank
water
alcohol.
first, and it was empty. So
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my pitching coach at Tech had whiskey and coffee all the time.
That's not uncommon.
And I think he's a scout now, so maybe I shouldn't say his name, but it wouldn't be hard to figure out.
wait, shout out to my guy, Mr. Tomatoes. Did all the analysts really just pick UCLA? If that's true, please let me know. If so, I'm scared.
Please don't tell me. No, I don't want to know that. I'd rather ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
So I'll wrap up.
Shout out to Daby Cab. We got another excellent donation here, $19.99. Because when it rains, it pours. Once you gift a Pub Sports Radio membership, they keep coming in. Shout out to Zoe. Love one.
I wish I had something other than a water that I could take a drink of.
Oh man, I'm gonna take a small one. But shout out to you guys. Love
Yeah, you can take a little swig. Yeah, I can take a big rip with you. Zoe.
Ah, shit. Yeah, they all were. Tomatoes just said, yeah, they were. They all chose Bruins.
Fuck those.
Yeah. Whatever.
All right. Battered A&M syndrome, battered Aggie syndrome. Every year I've known better. When they're ranked, I've said, listen, this ain't it, right? And Zoe, man, you are the man. Shout out to you. We really appreciate you. This year, I don't know. I hear a lot of people still saying, we've got 4 losses on the schedule. They're coming no matter what. It is what it is. It's what we get every year. I don't feel it, man. The culture is changing. The team is together more than I've ever seen a team.
100%.
And I'm usually quick to fade them when the time is right in other years. This year just ain't the fucking year. Something's different. That's all I'm saying.
That team could win the SEC, in my opinion. Like, that team is that good.
Something's
just watching them play. Like, who's better? Who's better than Texas A&M and the SEC? Like, you could say Georgia, you could say Bama. I think they're better than both. And you can laugh at me for that one, but I'm telling you, like, I've watched them play. They're like, Mike Elko's got those guys cooking. I think he's year 3? Is he year 3? 2?
2.
Oh man, dude, Elko's a beast, man. I love him. Like, great coach. I think that team is on the precipice of being the most dominant team in the SEC.
I think we're about at that point, guys, where we should go through real quick and just hit any bets that we have.
Let me get in on this.
Shit, my bad, Moose.
All right. There are significant red flags all over the place for both sides on this game. If you look at Texas A&M last year, they were favored in the swamp, and they covered in the swamp. And so if you do just line correlation, if you take the home field advantage away from Florida, it bumps up to around 7.5. If you add in Texas A&M home field advantage, it should be in the double digits. It is not. It is in the 7.5 range. Right. All the money has been coming in on Florida. Line has not really moved all that much. It has been holding at 7.5. You look at A&M as a home favorite at home in general ATS, not very good. You look at Florida on the road, very good. But you look at Florida on the road this year, horrific. And A&M this year, still not good. So there's a lot of red flags in this game. I am not buying that Lagway has all of a sudden figured it out. But the one thing that did look better was that the run blocking was actually competent. Because if you look at Florida and how they have run blocked and the grading that they have gotten on their run blocking the last 3 games has been very, very poor. And actually, I correct myself. The run blocking against Texas was not all that great. So if you look at the run blocking, 62.5 against LSU, a 55 against Miami, and a 57 against Texas. The pass blocking was horrific against Miami, but it looked much better against Texas, and it played pretty well against LSU. Texas A&M, though, has a ridiculously good pass rush I mean, there's only been one game where they didn't rank over 70. So can Florida manage the elite Texas A&M pass rush? Because that has been something they've been strong in, but Miami exposed them. Does Texas A&M replicate what Miami was able to do? I kind of think yes, but the only way I could bet this would be Florida on the spread, because that's the only number I can look at with a little bit of confidence, because I can't trust Elko ATS, and I don't really think the line is where it should be in this game. The index, though, does love A&M. It says that A&M should be double-digit favorite here.
I try not to glaze too much on like stuff like you were just giving like percentages and stuff like that. But if I'm not mistaken, A&M's offensive line is grading out number 1 in college football.
Moose basically like
Yes.
like his cap was perfect about taking them as a leg on a money line. Like, don't worry about the spread. It's like,
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I would
what
say don't worry about the spread. But yeah, and then Cab, yes, the Texas A&M has graded out very well, but they did struggle a little bit last week, or the last game against Mississippi State.
Right.
But I think also a game where towards the end they were just kind of like, hey, we're running the same play every single time. I didn't watch the game, but it looks in how it graded out like that.
It was early. It was just Reed that was struggling. So anyways, I digress. I'm on KC Concepcion over 55.5 and A&M money line for minus 115. But yeah, so I did what you said right there, Moose. Guys, let's go ahead and recap bets that we gave out here on the show and anything we want to give out. Get our dude Gorki on here. Shout out anybody in the chat. If you got questions, drop it. Moose, I want to get the link. I'm going to jump backstage for just a second.
I haven't done anything on it. Moose Dive is I didn't do any work on it this week.
Okay.
I got 2 blogs out there too. If you want to go check that out on X, Guns Picks, or check me out on Telegram or Instagram, @Wylose_Guns. But I'll give out my blogs right now as a talking point.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody is watching this show and you don't follow Guns or Moose and you didn't sub to the Moose Dive or any of the stuff people are doing here, take a second to go do it right fucking now. It's not hard. Go do it.
We spend some time. We write up shit. We put it on websites, and we just need eyeballs. So
Wait, are we really not going to talk about Kent State and UMass? Are we really going to not talk about that game?
I want to talk, dude. I want to talk about Ball State, Western Michigan. Can I talk about that one?
We're not talking about balls anymore.
All right. Well, my best bet. Can I talk about my best bet now? Can we do best bets?
Best bets sound good to me.
All right, best bets. I'm going to give you like 2. And of course, I'm going to give you a gun belt bet. And I'm sure there's no like graphic for this one, but let's go into the dirt. Let's go in the nitty. By the way, 2-0 last week on my Nitty the Gritty is dirty. I gave you a military over, and I also gave you Old Dominion minus 20.5 up by 40. So let's talk. All right, let's talk about the MAC. Return of the MAC. Let's talk about Ball State, Western Michigan, and Waldo Stadium, Kalamazoo, Michigan. This place is going to be thumping at 3:30. Nobody's going to be watching the top 10 games. They're going to be watching this one. Like, let's talk about this one. So you have Western Michigan that is 3-3 on the year, off a road win versus UMass. Of course, Moose alluded to UMass 21-3. Then you have Ball State that is 2-3 on the year, off a big win. Actually, an upset win against Ohio. If anybody knows about Ohio, pay attention. Ohio Bobcats are legit, but they lost against Ball State last week. But you know what the thing about Western Michigan is? Their offense sucks, but their defense is good. Conference opponents this year, they put up 18 points per game, but they hold opponents to 8 points per game. Then you have Western Michigan. Has been solid last 3 games, holding opponents to under 300 yards of total offense per game. These 2 teams meet every single year. It's 8-1 to the over every single time. However, this is the first time in the history of this matchup since they started making totals back in 2004 that it's been under 50 points. Guys, the books are telling a story here. The total is 43.5. It's under 50. This team is 8-1 to the over every time these 2 teams meet. These offenses suck. The defenses are good. It's going to be an under game, and you can get it at 43.5 right now. Give me Ball State, Western Michigan under 43.5. And let me give you one more play for that one for the gun belt. I have to give you a gun belt play. And you know, maybe I have revisionist history. Maybe I'm just a sucker for these guys, but sometimes I have a feeling about a team And I just got to ride that feeling. It's ODU versus Marshall. We're going to Jones C. Edwards Stadium. We're going to Huntington, West Virginia. 3:30 is going to be the kick on this one. And what Marshall? What? All right, you trying to cut my fucking cap? I'm trying to fucking.
I think you were so loud you heard yourself and stopped, like a cat getting scared by its own fart.
I'm sorry. All right, so Marshall, let's talk about this one. Marshall has decent numbers. They really haven't played anybody other than Georgia in week 1. Their wins were Eastern Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State, and really this team sucks ass because why their coach left and they went to Southern Miss. But ODU has got a great offense, and I call it an explosive offense. 498 points per game, 6.89 per in the rushing game, and 9.8 yards per attempt in passing, 65% pass completion rate. Their defense is holding opponents to 244 yards or less 3 out of their 5 games this season. This is a team that we have to pay attention to in the Gun Belt, okay? And by the way, Sun Belt don't exist for all you new listeners. This is the Gun Belt. By the way, 4X revenge. This team has lost to Marshall 4 times in a row in ODU, 42-35 last season, but they were 3-point home dogs in that situation. Now you see them as a double-digit favorite on the road. Dude, I'm telling people about ODU, and I'm trying to get the chat on ODU. This ODU team is legit, and it's free fucking money every goddamn week. They won by – I gave you 20.5 last week. They won by 40. You think they're going to take their foot off the gas pedal on a team with revenge? Nah. I know they got JMU on deck. Doesn't matter. Give me ODU minus 14.5. Those are my 2 plays. Let's go.
Let's go. I think I might have to join on ODU. I'll be there with you and Kongs. That might have been one of my favorite caps. After you,
Battle for the crown next week. Those guys wear crowns on their mascots too.
Wine time said, "Let's go." I think is what he said. And then when you were like, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" And then after like 2 seconds, you cut yourself
I heard
off.
somebody talking. It cut me off. I thought somebody wanted to jump in on a
You
cap.
cut your own self off with, "Can I fucking cap?" So I'm like, I'm on board, Guns. I'm on board. I'll join with that one. Kong said he laughed so hard his stomach hurt. I thought I was going to start crying, man. I love it. ODU. Okay, Moose, recap. Bets, go. Boom, bam.
So I'm on, for what we talked about already, I'm on UCLA. I'm on first half Alabama. I'm on the Ohio State, Illinois under 51. I am on Oklahoma, Texas under 45. I did make that official. I am on that. And I think that, in the first half, USC team total over 13.5 and Jaden Maeva passing yards. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all my my Samoan brothers. I do know how to say Samoan names. I did teach at a Samoan high school, so I apologize for my butchering here as I rattle off the plays. Some of the things that we did not talk about that I am going to throw out there. I have mentioned them in the chat. I do believe I did throw out my entire card at some point in the chat. But I am also on Navy first half -6 as an alt spread against Temple. Temple has struggled in the first half. Navy coming off of a tough win against Air Force, but Temple has really struggled coming off of a big win against UTSA. Navy knows how to handle wins a little bit better than a Temple program getting its start, but Temple is on a program on the rise. I do like Temple for future, but today I'm going Navy. Holler midshipman. I'm on Air Force +7.5 against UNLV. Love Sharka taking over at quarterback. That offense looks completely different. Yes, the concern is the defense, but I think I saw enough improvement in the defense against Navy to be able to make some stops. And I think the Navy offense is better than the UNLV offense. And Dan Mullen, not anybody I'm scared of in terms of going up against the Air Force X's and O's wise. Wisconsin team total under 16.5. The Gronkowski news is probably going to be pushing me either on or off Iowa, but I am believing Gronk is not playing. I know it's Gronowski. It is always going to be Gronk moving forward. I'm on Boston College +14.5 against Clemson. I think this is a big letdown spot for Clemson. Two scores. Boston College, Bill O'Brien at home against Dabo, who I don't know what Dabo's doing mentally, so we'll move on. Also, surprised we did not talk about this game. Georgia, Auburn. I am on Auburn +4, but I do like the total under a little bit more at 46.5. Also, San Diego State, Nevada under 42. San Diego State plays unders on the road.
Shout out to my guy Moose right there. And shout out to our guy Razor Sharp Picks in the chat. Shout out to you, my guy. Good luck on all your.
Shout out to the Razor.
Let's go.
Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, guys, we've got a loaded card. I don't think I've ever had so much pending in my account right now. We're gonna start off with USC. We have 3 units on that, guys. We're also on UCLA plus 8.5, Kansas State plus 1.5, Florida plus 7.5, Missouri plus 3, Missouri money line, Kansas plus 13.5, Colorado plus 3, Colorado plus 1 first half. We also have got so much action. Arkansas plus 12.5, Virginia Tech plus 14.5, South Carolina plus 9.5, New Mexico plus 16.5. We're also on Arizona money line plus 110. Never had this much pending in my account before, guys. It's a big day today. You can probably tell my voice. I'm a little nervous going into this one. That USC one, I'm going to be sweat. You guys might not hear from me that whole game, So it's going to be a fun day.
You're going to hear from me on the text.
I know, right?
You guys are brutal, man. How many times? Look, once or twice, I almost was like, "Ha fuckers," but I didn't do it.
No, you got to do it
because I'm better than that.
On everybody, and I expect I expect all you guys to come back at me too.
You two could just talk to each other. You can create your own.
Yeah, Moose is in the group chat. He doesn't talk.
Both Cab and me. We are always just like, dude, I get to the messages and it's 500 messages and it's just you two just talking to each other. It's like, you can just talk to each other. Like,
it's fucking wine time and guns talking about a bet that they had that was on the other side of me. Like, let's go the whole time. And then
I'm never gonna stop doing that either.
And then A&M takes the lead and it's fucking silence.
I always go wine time. Am I right?
Let's go.
Speaking about bets, actually, I'll do that one last. I did join you with USC, so let's go Trojans, right? Let's go Trojans. We can root for that. You got the big money on that. That's awesome. One that I didn't get to touch on is Taylor Green over 57.5 rushing yards. Anybody who knows the past couple of years, I've been all over that prop. I'm back at it today against Tennessee. They give up yards. I think Green is going to get several on the ground. TCU, I'm on them money line, and then I have a half unit on TCU money line parlayed with Hoover over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That parlay comes in at plus 142. And then I've got Jam Miller over 69.5 rushing yards at minus 101. Alabama first half -2. And then I have a half unit on Alabama full game -3. I've got A&M money line parlayed with KC Concepcion over 55.5 receiving yards. That's minus 115. And like Wine Time said, it's a huge fucking card. For me, that's massive.
By the way, I just saw my Twitter feed right now. Dan Lanning took his shirt off with Pat McAfee on game day. That means Oregon by 1 million right now. It's all Oregon. Like he just fucking got the crowd pumped up.
He's on that Addy early on in the day, guys.
Right. We're a little bit behind schedule today, but the good news is it still hasn't kicked off yet, and we can get to hear our next dude's bets before the kickoff. I wish I had the intro, but I guess it's in the other folder, and I'm not the producer that knows how to use it. We have it on the sesh, but let's get him going. Our dude Gorki.
Hey, fellas, I'm not gonna keep everybody's time. Let's go get this cash. Guys, I'm going to start in USC, Michigan. I think it's a complete mismatch, especially on the defensive side of the ball, favoring Michigan. This team is built to win in the trenches, where USC look very small in the trenches. Like, I have to question, are they actually football players? I'm not sure. But are they more skilled offensively when you flip the field? Yes. USC has to outpace in order to keep ahead in this game, and that's their only hope. Give me Michigan on the money line plus 100.
I do. I mean, I agree with what you said, other than the fact that I do think that USC can outpace them. But I agree with what you said about the defense. And the offenses.
But I just think that Michigan can get more stops than these guys can get touchdowns, because they are coached by a defensive guru who ran the ball 75 times and a half against Penn State when Jim Harbaugh was out.
He's not wrong. I'll say that. I mean, like they were, like I said, with USC last year, they were 4.5 point road favorites, but they're 2.5 here.
Yeah, but
You want to talk about
last year.
Wine time. No. Get him wine time. I already told him. Bro.
Oh, wine time's got to go. I'll
Last year, Michigan did not have a quarterback last year at all. So that line gets thrown out the
He's got it
window.
wine time.
Because
Don't worry.
Kyle Orgy, in terms of a thrower, might as well be a double arm amputee for all I give a shit. It's just the truth. It is what it is.
Wine
Yeah.
time. I'm with you on USC.
no pushback because I'm already worried about this game enough. I thought we were done talking about this game. Let's move on to the next. Gorky, tell me your next spot. Tell me about the UCLA Bruins.
The UCLA Bruins. You want to hear about the Bruins?
Yes, I
I
do.
think they cash on the money line, but I want to have some action for tonight. So that's why I parlayed plus 7.5 UCLA and Utah money line. Cash it plus
I like that.
115.
Okay.
I don't
like
hate
that.
it. I don't hate it at all.
I think UCLA is we don't. Michigan State to me is not a football school. They don't really give a fuck.
They might be average now. They might be just enough average, right? Yeah.
UCLA does give a fuck. They just don't know how. They just don't know how to make it work.
Right.
In all sports, not just football, but mostly football, because you have too much in Los Angeles. There's too much to do. There's the Dodgers. The UCLA is about 75th on the totem pole.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
I can't ignore that cap at all. He's right. What's the next one, Gork? What do you get? What else you got?
My next one is Texas, Oklahoma.
Here we go.
I just think Oklahoma has too much on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and the fact that Arch Manning has to have a nickname be his actual name at the age
Tell
of
him, Gork. Tell him. Tell him, Gork.
22 is absolutely insane. Call him Archie Jr., call him Archie the Second, whatever the fuck you want to call him, but he's not going to be called a winner today.
His daddy's sperm didn't come from Peyton or Eli, right?
Yeah,
His daddy's sperm didn't come from Peyton or Eli.
His daddy's sperm came from Cooper Manning, baby. No, he's gonna be cut by the actual defense, who's gonna swarm his ass.
Hell is that?
And they're gonna get fucked up. And you can come at me when I lose, but I'm not losing.
I like that cap.
Fucking yeah. Let's go, Gork.
Let's go to Alabama and Colorado money line.
Okay.
Or ISU and Alabama money line.
Let's go.
Alabama here is just the better team, but what does scare me is Kalen DeBoer allows his players to bring feel better teddy bears, on trips with them. Does Eli Drinkwitz have the coaching advantage? Probably, because he's a man's man. But this game would be a 3:00 local start if they actually thought they could win.
Love it.
Shout out to Shane Kim.
Nick Saban would take those teddy bears and fucking shove them.
Nick Saban would put them in a washing machine and make sure they got ripped up.
Yeah.
UCLA, nasty Nate. UCLA, baby. They're starting in about 5 minutes. Shout out to Chang Kim. He said, "What do you think about SMU? No play for me in that game, Chang." I
one more view, guys.
Yeah.
ISU, give it to me.
All right, Illinois, Iowa State. There we go. Dude, I got his energy up. I think he lost energy on that one, man. It's like we might have got him too pumped up. Gork, man.
Hey, here, I have a coaching mismatch. I have a quarterback from the pocket mismatch. I think Rocco Beck is the guy. I think he's the best quarterback who's going to go into the NFL in the next 2 or 3 years, and he's going to be the quarterback that leads whatever team he goes to the promised land in the big league, as well as here, baby, because he's poised in the pocket, and I need more pocket passers. Let's fucking go. Iowa State also sprinkle a little bit on the money line for a natty for Iowa State. This team is
I'll
real.
lay that shit. Hell yeah.
Colorado is a clown show, yes, by a lot of coaches who are stars as players, but star players do not turn into good coaches because they don't know how hard it is to actually do the little things.
No.
It comes too easy to them.
Let's go.
They work to earn that. They definitely work to earn that. They are that good because they do all the little things. We'll push back on that. No, that is not true. That is not correct. That is not correct. That is not right.
Let me speak, boys. You had your time to shine, okay? It comes too easy to superstar players. They do not transform into good coaches. And the mistakes that Dion makes in game are inexcusable. Not knowing when to use a timeout, that's going to cost you. Give me Matt Campbell and the fighting Iowa State to get the job done here.
Let's go, Gorki.
Let's fucking go, boys.
Shout out to Gorki for always coming on and sharing his action with the crew, man.
You got me fired up, Gork. I might take Iowa.
We're 3 minutes away from first kick. Moose has got to go to sleep. He's got to make sure everything's recorded and ready to go for tonight when he's able to watch these games, guys. So we got to let him go. No, I'm just kidding. But shout out to you, Gorki, for joining us. Cab, if you can come join us to end this show.
Man, you were doing so good. I was just ready to click it at you. But man,
shout out to everyone, man. Love this group right here on the screen. Love capping with you guys. We all have different opinions on everything. It's what makes it fun. The trash talk back and forth. It makes it that much better, guys. Because we all want to win at the end of the day. So let's just cash some tickets, guys. Love you guys. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here, Daby Cab?
I'm sweating and I feel short of breath like a motherfucker.
Dude, you're fired up.
Get some water.
Yeah, you did.
Just real quick, Guns Picks on X and _Guns on Instagram. I do a lot of lives. Of course, Wine Time has been in those lives.
Why don't you make those handles the same, dog?
Because I'm hired by a business and they gave me the name. So, anyways, just go follow me on that one. Tomorrow, Sunday, 10:30, I'm going to do NFL content. Of course, I will be on this show every fucking week because I love you guys. And I will be shitting on Daby later on. So let's go. Have a day.
What the fuck are we even on the
Hey, boys.
Alabama, Missouri.
I want to give out
later on. That's right now. Alabama's about to jam fucking Miller.
All right, we got to wrap this up, fellas.
I want to give a bonus pick on the diamond today. The Chicago Cubs get the job done and move on to the championship series for the National League. Let's fucking go.
Thank you to everyone in the chat. You could be anywhere on a Saturday morning, but you're here with us. We love you guys. We'll be back next Saturday. Let's go get fucking paid.